My journey begins in the Stour Valley in Suffolk. This is where the painter John Constable grew up. His paintings of an England that's largely vanished still entrance us, make us imagine going back in time. This is Dedham Vale, part of the Stour that Constable knew and loved best, and made famous by his painting. He came back here once in his later years and was travelling by stagecoach and turned to two strangers in the coach and said, "Isn't this beautiful countryside?" And quick as a flash, one of them replied, "This, sir, is Constable country." I think Constable must have been very pleased. Constable grew up working in the prosperous mill his family owned at Flatford. His father wanted him to take over the business. But Constable was determined to become a painter. After going to art school in London, he came home to the country he'd been brought up in. "I paint my own places best," Constable once said, "the sound of water escaping from mill dams, willows, old rotten banks, slimy posts, brickwork. This place made me a painter." And his biggest landscapes have all been done within a mile of here, but this, of course, is the most famous of all, the setting for the hay wain. Constable's most famous painting shows the view he saw every day as a boy. At the water's edge is the cottage of Willie Lott, the old neighbour who lived all his life by the mill pond. It's a sparkling summer's day, and all's well with the world. It's interesting to stand here and look at the scene as it is today, and there's scarcely any difference. Of course, the cart isn't in the water, the dog isn't there. It'd be nice if they were, actually. But Willie Lott's house on the corner, exactly as Constable painted it. The interesting thing is you stand here and you cannot help but look at this through Constable's eyes. It's a good demonstration of how powerfully artists can influence the way we look at something. I mean, I dare say that if Constable hadn't painted this picture of the hay wain, people would walk past this place and wouldn't give it a second glance. But because of this picture, they come here in their thousands and stand and look and see it through his eyes. Today, the trees and shrubs are painstakingly pruned to recreate the look of Constable's picture. Hi there. What's the plan? What are you doing here?
Opening up the view for a picture of the hay wain.
Did you study the painting before you started?
I've lived here all my life and we've got a picture of it at home. And
were you brought up with it on the,
yes.
on the living room wall?
Yeah.
Did it give you a strange feeling to be remaking a painting?
I think it just makes me feel lucky to live here and to be able to do stuff somewhere where you can actually say, you know, the hay wain, we worked there.
It is an English thing. It's the greenery, it's the trees, it's the water, it's the old 17th century buildings.
Do you think we see it as Constable saw it?
If he came back and was to look over, I'm sure he'd go, well, yeah, it's pretty much as I remembered it. I don't think it'd be...
Constable's paintings capture the day-to-day scenes along the River Stour. His attachment to this place lasted all his life. It was here that he first fell in love with a local girl called Maria Bicknell. He wooed her along these riverbanks, and despite the opposition of her family, he finally married her.
When his father died, Constable painted a picture of the family mill. He had decided against taking it over and instead left Flatford to live in London. Painting is but another word for feeling, Constable once said, and this was his emotional farewell to his father and his childhood home.
When I first started in television, I worked in this part of the world, so I got to know the flatlands quite well and became very fond of them. I had an open car, and it was summer, and I used to drive around with music playing and thinking, oh, this is heaven.